Many people have said that LeBron James is the best player ever. James has done a lot in the NBA in his 20 years there, and he's one of the best players to ever play in the league. He has won 4 NBA titles and 4 Finals MVP awards. He had been to the NBA Finals 10 times, including 8 times in a row from 2011 to 2018. He has joined the likes of Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Magic Johnson as a legend. Starting off, LeBron James's perfect record against NBA rivals. In terms of individual records, LeBron James has never lost to any of the 332 players he has played against. I won't talk about all 332 perfect records, but I will talk about some of the most impressive ones. If not, you might not see another article from me until the 4th of July. Keep in mind that these individual records of never losing are just for fun and love of the game. As far as LeBron James's all-time ranking goes, none of this will change anything. At the end, we'll talk about some of the more interesting records he has against some of the best players he has played against at small forward, even if he hasn't won every game. Here are some of LeBron James's best unbeaten records against NBA opponents. LeBron James's best records versus individual opponents. Chris Douglas Roberts, who LeBron James beat 14-0, was the person he beat the most in his career. Douglas Roberts only played in the NBA for 7 seasons. He played for 5 different teams, including the Nets, Bucks, Mavericks, Hornets, and Clippers. Douglas Roberts only started 2 of these 14 games, but he averaged 9.5 PPG and 1.8 RPG. James, on the other hand, dominated the games between them, averaging 30.1 PPG, 8.4 RPG, and 7.9 APG. Douglas Roberts left the NBA in 2015 when he was 28 years old. He had been there for 7 years. James had a 12-0 record against Andrew Nicholson, which was the next best record he had against any opponent. Andrew Nicholson was a 6'9" power forward who played for the Magic, Nets, and Wizards in the NBA for 5 seasons. He was with Orlando for 4 years before he was let go and signed by the Wizards in 2016. He was traded to Brooklyn in the middle of that season and soon after retired. Nicholson averaged 4.8 PPG and 2.8 RPG in head-to-head games while he was in the starting lineup 3 times. James averaged 23.6 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 8.4 assists in the 12 games they played against each other. LeBron James also went 11-0 against Wesley Johnson. He was a shooting guard small forward who played in the NBA for 9 seasons with 6 different teams. For his career, Johnson averaged 7.0 PPG and 3.2 RPG in 609 career contests. Johnson started 6 games against James and had an average of 8.8 points and 3 rebounds per game. James had an average of 26.9 PPG, 7.7 RPG, and 7.2 APG in the game between the two of them. Most of these games happened when Johnson played for the Timberwolves and James was with the Miami Heat. Jordan Hill was the next person James lost to the most. Hill was a highly touted player coming out of Arizona, but none of the NBA teams he played for seemed to fit him. Hill was most well known for being with the Lakers from 2012 to 2015. Hill averaged 9.3 PPG and 5.2 RPG in these 10 games against LeBron, and he started 6 of them. James used to beat Hill's team by averaging 30.1, 8.0, and 6.2 points, rebounds, and assists per game. Hill did score 20 points against LeBron when he played for the Lakers in 2015, but he never did enough for his team to win. Craig Smith is the last person that LeBron James never lost to that we'll talk about today. Smith was a 6'7" power forward who only played in the NBA for 6 seasons, from 2007 to 2012. He played for the Timberwolves, the Clippers, and the Trailblazers. In 2009, he had his best season, averaging 10.1 PPG and 3.8 RPG. Smith averaged 9.0 PPG and 4.7 RPG in 9 games against James. James was as dominant as usual against Smith. He averaged 33.6 PPG, 8.1 RPG, 6.8 APG, and 2.2 SPG, and he scored 30 or more points in 8 of the 9 games he played against Smith. LeBron James has interesting head-to-head records against other great players of his era. We've talked about how LeBron has never lost to certain opponents, but what about some of his less impressive records? As an NBA analyst, after he retired from playing, Pierce has often said bad things about James. James and Pierce played each other 69 times in their careers. James beat Pierce by 1 game, 35-34, giving him the edge. Rasheed Wallace was one of the few people James played against who beat him. James and Wallace played each other 51 times during their careers. Wallace won 27 of those games. games, while James only won 24. Danny Green and LeBron James won a championship together in 2020 when they were both on the same team. Green's teams have a crazy 17-8 record against James's teams when they play each other. In 38 games against Klay Thompson and the Warriors, James hasn't done very well, and Klay's career record against him is 25-13. Again, these records don't mean much because basketball has always been a team sport and always will be. But isn't it at least a little bit fun to see who James has beaten and who he's been beaten by? In other related news, Kevin Durant reflects on not playing against LeBron James in 4 years. This could have been the perfect time for fans to see LeBron James and Kevin Durant, two of the best players of this generation, go at it again. But LeBron got hurt in his last game, so it looks like we'll have to wait a little longer. KD talked about this on the most recent episode of the ETCs. He told Eddie Gonzalez that it's always easier to play against the other team when LeBron isn't playing. KD still thinks it's cool to fight the king, and he likes their battles. LeBron is hard to deal with on the court, so we need to win. I want him to play, but the game is definitely easier for us when he's not there. I wish that we could play against each other again. Last night, he hurt himself. We'll get to play against each other the next time they come to Brooklyn. Hopefully, he'll be there. But it's always great for the NBA when we can play each other, because everyone who watched this as a kid is now an adult. We all played on different teams and in different games, and it's just fun. It's always fun to play against Bron. So I hope his injury heals quickly. But you know, not having him on the court is less of a hassle. When asked if he would have checked LeBron during the game, KD said that he would have. We're our number one options on our teams most of the night, so we checking each other, you don't see that often, KD said. I think we both helped change the small forward position. So when we play together, it's always a different game. You'll see a lot of different kinds of crap out there. Unfortunately, it's not likely that this duel will happen this Sunday. The King needs to rest to heal from his injury, and it would be irresponsible for the Lakers to let him just play for fun. They're having a rough time and need to win soon, but they can't risk making LeBron's injury worse. The Nets will try to get another win, with Jacques Vaughn as their new head coach, and KD will try to beat his old friend Russell Westbrook in this exciting matchup. Finally, Anthony Davis says he will try to be more vocal and aggressive. The Lakers need him to be at his best more than they ever have, maybe ever, because they're off to a 2-9 start, and LeBron is out with an injury. AD knows that he has to step up without James, and he told the media how he plans to play in the next few games. I just try to speak up more and take on the role of someone who's very aggressive. Russ, you still kind of got me the same way you did in Utah, but for me, I have to change my mind from being aggressive to trying to help the team win. No matter what it is, it's now my job to make these guys better. Even though it's my job, it's harder when someone like Bron is out there doing all he does. Fans of the Lakers have been asking AD to be more aggressive, like he was in his first season for a long time, and he says he will. Davis's appearance in the second half of games has been one of his biggest problems this season. This season, he averages 14.2 points in the first half, but only 8.4 points in the second. He also takes fewer shots, from 10.7 to 6.3, because he doesn't do much to help the offense. Now that LeBron is out, he might be more aggressive throughout the game, which is really the only way for this team to win. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time, cheers!